All right then, good morning, good afternoon, and good day, all of you amazing, wonderful, and kind vault dwellers out there. Plus, those of you watching me on YouTube wondering, dude, what are you wearing? I'm wearing the Thrasher outfit, and I can't remember when exactly I picked it up, but I'm also standing in Nuka World. Do you remember when this was the best expansion that came out for Fallout 76? I do, because I was playing it. And honestly, still one of the best. And I'm standing here for a particular reason, because I wanted to show you guys something, where to go to beat one of the daily challenges, in case you don't happen to have enough stuff. So let's follow my path down here. I'm at the crafting section, and I'm going to go all the way down here. You can't hear them, but the NPCs are driving me insane, so we're moving early. Why are we coming down this far? Because this is the easiest to find Nuka-Cola vending machine in all of 76. Right here. Now, you'll note that it doesn't have Nuka-Cola Twist for sale, but it does have a whole bunch of the rest, including Quantum and Orange. You can find additional Nuka-Cola over at the White Spring Refuge. Just go to the resort, fast travel, refuge, go all the way to the back. And why is this important? Well, today we're going to do something a little different, and I'm going to go to the daily challenges first. And this is drink Nuka Orange. Nuka Orange is kind of hard to come by, and it should be because it gives you some pretty substantial rad resist. I love it, especially if I'm doing Radiation Rumble. That said, I loved it a whole lot more before I had the radioactive powered 4-star mod, which makes all the difference in the world, and you will have to forgive me. I am congested. I live in this area of the Mid Ohio Valley for real. Well, not this area. I live up here where we should have Parkersburg, West Virginia, but we don't. And I'm very salty about it still, all this time later. So I'm really hoping that we'll get Parkersburg, Belpre, Vienna, my hometown area up here. Yeah, I'm sort of doxing myself, but whatever. All right. Anyways, moving on from that. Today's daily challenges for the day of August 19th, 2025. Craft any chems, so go to a chem station, craft chems. Complete an event, complete any event. Consume any chems. All right, so those two chems you made, stim packs, psychobuffs, whatever, pop them. Drink 2 Nuka Orange. Buy one here, buy one over at the White Spring Refuge if you don't have them, and guzzle. Kill a mutated enemy and kill a glowing creature. Now, these are going to be a little harder. Glowing enemies are not as hard to track down as you would think. You can usually pick up a glowing Wendigo at Freddy Fear's House of Scares. You can also find a whole bunch of locks to pick because that is one of the challenges as well. You can find a glowing bloated one or a glowing Wendigo in Appalachian Antiques, which also has a lock to pick down in the first area behind the checkout register. Then you can swing over to the flooded train yard, where you can find a slew of glowing Snallagasters, unless for whatever reason robots have taken over. It's happened a handful of times in the time that I've played this game, just really weird, really random. So check the other two locations first. Plus, of course, you'll find glowing creatures everywhere throughout the world. Just a little harder sometimes if you are specifically looking for one. That being said, moving on, that's it, except for kill a mutated enemy. I'm going to be honest, I'm happy this week. Why? Because mutated public events are back in circulation. Now, I love these. These are so much fun to the extent that I genuinely wish this was the norm for Fallout 76. As you know, every 20 minutes we get a public event that has an exclamation point on it. These are public events. That's all there is to. Not to be confused with other events that you'll see pop up throughout the world. Weirdly, none of which are popping up for me right now. Huh. But these are things like AWOL armaments, or Breach and Clear, or BattleBot, or um, Fertile Soil, or a bunch of others. This is what they call a public event, and you get bonus rewards from it. So for Jailbreak, for example, um, legendary items, modules, and treasure notes. So With that said, mutated public events pop up at the top of every hour, like all the other special events do. And they will be a rehash of your existing events that you know and love, like Radiation Rumble, like the one where you have to guide the Brahmin, like uh, Eviction Notice, and so many others. Only they will have mutations that you would normally only see in daily ops. Now, these are event specific mutations. You won't have, camouflaged super mutants in Eviction Notice, which would be hilarious. Um, so just keep your eyes open, be ready for them. There are some events that are going to turn things into melee only, other things that are going to have the creatures be explosive when they blow up. So just sort of watch yourself. They're harder, but they're more fun, and you get better rewards, including rare drops that will pop up in mutated party packs at the end of the event. So just keep your eyes open when those hit your inventory. All right, that being said, mutated enemies, you get those from doing those top of the hour events, the mutated public events, or as I said, mutations happen in daily ops. You can get the same credit by running a daily op and killing 10 enemies in one. And that's fairly straightforward. That's your daily challenges today. I'm going to knock this out in 10 minutes. Moving on from that, though, the weekly challenges are a little bit more of a headache, but not a lot. Catch a fish. We'll get into this one later, but basically, catch a fish. 21 of them. Complete a mutated public event. We just discussed those. You need to knock out 3. Crafting bulk wood. Go to a tinkerer's workbench and make wood. Destroy an assaultatron. Now, they want you to pop off 5 of these lovely ladies, and that's a little harder. Your best bet, if you want, is to go to Watoga and hunt the robots around here. Not my first choice. Same thing, you can occasionally find assaultatrons around White Spring, although they are non hostile. You can, on occasion, pick up one at Survey Camp Alpha. Um, but your best, and of course, you can nab one over at the Pylon Ambush site whenever somebody does the Sheep Squatch event. So the Imposter Sheep Squatch. So, with that said, your best bet if you need to pick up 5 and you don't feel like fighting off 1,000 players is to run a nuke. Sorry, I say that on occasion, but it's true. Run to Site Charlie, Alpha, or Beta. Run through. You'll pick up 5 Assaultrons on one pass. It'll be a non issue. Coming down from that, also need to pick up screws and rubber. You'll get those. Honestly, you should get most of those just by running a nuke. Really should. Um, if not all. Now, for screws, look for things like desk fans. You pick those up just about everywhere. For rubber, I mean, honestly, everything. These two, I wouldn't be in a huge rush. I'm fairly confident, but I'm going to test to make sure that you can do these in bulk. So let me pop over here to the Tinkerer's Workbench and give you guys a quick breakdown on how to bulk items in case you, for whatever reason, don't happen to know yourself. So go over, craft, bulk. So looks like we can do rubber, but cannot do screws. So craft a bulk rubber, go to scrap a bulk rubber, and there's 10 of my 30. And all it takes is 10 pieces of rubber, 2 pieces of plastic to make 1 bulk rubber. The rest of those items on that list are handled the same way. So can't do screws, can do rubber, super easy. All right, kill 30 mutated enemies. We've already covered this. Eat a meat-based meal. You're going to pick up plenty of meat this week. And it's not meat week, so take that for what it is. You're going to pick up that because you have to kill 30 Mirelurks. This is going to be a little bit of a haul. However, this does tie into a bonus challenge that we have this week. Where to find Mirelurks? Lake Reynolds is one good location. Sunrise Field is my favorite because you can also pick up cranberries here for cranberry cobbler or relish, Query X3, and you can also pick some more up here in Highland Marsh and even more over in, where is this? Spruce Knob Lake. Now, why do I say you're going to be hunting these? Well, it's because of the special challenge this week. That covers all of these, and as you kill Mirelurks, if you don't have meat, you'll get it. This week is week 2 of the mini season to collect Marshall Mallow items. All right, so catch a fish in the ash heap with the Marshall Mallow fishing head equipped. As a reminder, you can claim that in the mini season menu through the scoreboard, but you have to go to the armor workbench, scroll all the way down to headwear, and then I've been playing this game for longer than anybody should have. Marshmallow fishing hat. Just need to make one and put it on. Once you put it on, any kills you get while wearing it count for these challenges, for the kill challenges side of that. It also counts when you're wearing power armor. The game's like, well, he has it on. He walked into the PA with it. This is a great change. Didn't used to be always like that, and I appreciate that that the devs put that in. All right, moving on. And really quick, if you don't know where this is at, go to menu, go to seasons, the marvelous fishing incursion. And you got 2 different pages of rewards to claim, including a light rain weather station. So there's that for you. All right, back to challenges. Let's go over here. All right, 10 in the ash heap, 10 in the Savage Divide. Now it says only need 3 in Skyline Valley. I don't know if that's a typo. I don't know if somebody typoed when they put it up. Whatever, you may have to get 10, but it says only 3. Doesn't make any sense, but what do I know? All right, Toxic Valley, and that's it. Now, Skyline Valley is one of the 2 locations to pick up this month's axolotl, so if you don't have it, keep that in mind. The Mire is the other. Catch a fish while intoxicated. Drink a beer, eat a grilled fish, and go fishing. I'm not a fan of this because I don't like being forced to drink in this game, but that's just me. Your mileage may not care. All right, complete all regional fishing challenges. So that would be 1, 2, 3. That's a regional fishing challenge. That's not all. I don't know what to tell you. All right, kill a gulper with the Marshmallow fishing hat equipped. I really dislike this because gulpers are really rare to find. Your best bet to pick them up is to pay a visit over here to the Gulper Lagoon, which is all the way. Let me find it. It's all the way up here in the northeast. It's right across from Ella Ames Bunker. It is directly east of Hopewell Cave and up a mountain. It's south of Hunter's Shack. This is the only place you can reliably find gulpers, unless Moonshine Jamboree pops up. Now, Moonshine Jamboree is an event that can be a mutated public event. So, my assumption, let me highlight, underline, italic, put little star things beside it both ways, maybe put some balloons on it. My assumption is that Moonshine Jamboree will appear in this raid cycle this week, or event cycle this week. Keep that in mind. Is it a guarantee? No. What do I say about it? I say I wish I could re-roll it, but we can't. So good luck. If you have access to a private server, that may be your best way to play it out. Kill a Mirelurk Queen with a Marshmallow fishing hat equipped. Almost every location that I told you to go earlier to kill Mirelurks is going to have a queen. You can find a queen at the Highland Marsh. You can find a queen in Quarry X3. You can find a queen in Sunrise Field. You can find a queen hiding back in the back east of Spruce Knob. Back east, I think. And I'm not sure, but you might find one at Lake Reynolds. Don't hold me to that. You just have to flatten her. That's it. 3 of them. Again, this is where a private server is going to come in the most handy because you're going to be competing with everybody else who wants to flatten the queens. Sorry on that one. But with all the other fishing challenges, not that big of a deal. All right, and that's it. The weekly challenges are not too hard, except for hunting down and destroying 5 Assaultrons. If you're not a fan of running nuke silos, I would just re-roll this particular challenge. Uh, you can do this just by running 1 daily up will get you 30 mutated enemies. 30 Myrrhilics, you're likely going to pick those up, grabbing your queens or coming very close to it. Catching fish, you'll do that as you do the events. I mean, that's a given. Um, And of these, glowing creature, hit and miss. Drink a Nuka Orange may be the only other thing you have a hard time with. All right, that's it. Ladies and gents, my name is Josh. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can find me on PC versions of Fallout 76 through Steam at Karen DeHawk. If you have any questions, please be sure to give me a like, follow, subscribe, send me a message, whatever it is you do. And I will see you all again next week. Be careful out there. Somehow we've reached the end of August. And dude, what? All right. Until then, be good.